And then what if the light is off altogether? Could just be a blown bulb or anything like that. Are they difficult to replace, microwave bulbs?
Yeah, so it's hit or miss. The underneath lights for the over the range are always fairly simple. Most of them use kind of a specific light bulb, so you want to look at the owner's manual because they will have a part number and rating for the light bulb you need, especially if it's like a LED light that you've got to pop in and out. As far as the interior light, there are some out there where you can change the interior light by just opening the door and reaching inside, and there's some type of cover. But a lot of them, you've actually got to take the outside cover of the microwave off. And so if it's an over the range microwave, it's a pretty hefty job because you've got to pull it down and take it all apart. If you get to that point, most of the time it's really not that bad. The inside light typically wouldn't, the part number wouldn't be in the owner's manual. You would have to go to a website to look up the part number and order that specifically. Now, one thing to kind of look out for, certain microwaves to change the interior light is an absolute nightmare. A general rule of thumb, the more fancy and expensive it is, the harder it is to change the interior light. I had a job where it was one of these real fancy ones where the door opened instead of opening like, kind of left and right opening, it was like an up and down opening. It took me and one other technician nearly 4 hours to change the light bulb. And by the time we got to the light bulb, we had probably 50 screws off, 2 or 3 different wiring harness almost completely disassembled and moved aside,
Wow.
about 6 different panels that we had to remove to get to the light bulb. And it was absolutely insane. Like the engineers, like they did it on purpose because they hate technicians. I'm not sure why they did
Yeah,
it
that's
that
the
way, but
plan. Yeah.
I couldn't believe it. I like every 10 minutes I'm like, I can't believe they designed it this way.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And,
That's crazy. They
yeah,
just
for a little $2 LED light bulb, you're talking $400+ in labor.
man, the most
Yeah.
expensive light bulb repair ever
Oh
or
God,
change.
yeah.
So at that point, I mean, I guess it maybe just cooked the food in the dark.
Yeah,
You
I mean pretty much. That's because man, that yeah. And if you do want to try the repair, a lot of times you don't know until you get into it. So kind of a rule of thumb, if you're going to change the interior light bulb, take the unit down, take the outside panel off, and look and see if you could see where that light bulb is connected on the underside, where you see the terminals going to it. And if you
know.
can't see it, I'd probably leave it alone if it's not
Yeah,
right there.
so it's going to be buried deep in there somewhere.
Oh my goodness, yes.
Yeah, yeah, okay. And yeah, I guess just as a note for anyone who has a dark microwave, that you don't actually need the light. It's not going to do anything. It's only just for you to check the progress, which even then is quite difficult because it's kind of hard to tell. It's not like looking in the oven when you can see if things are browned or not. So yeah, not the biggest thing to live without, especially if it's one of these repairs.